I pray my kids have the ability to go out on Friday nights. Because I never did. And I know what that feels like. I had to get drunk to do that stuff. I didn't know how to do it without it. See, my dad was a politician and my mom was in corporate America. We owned a couple of houses and I was a big-time high school basketball player. I have all the confidence in the world. I pretended to. See, my courage in high school came in numbers. We walked in 10 deep, sat as far away from the speaker as we could. And we hid in the middle of each other. But I'm telling you right now in this gymnasium, I wish somebody walked into my school, snatched me off the bleachers, and simply said to me, you can't even walk down 12 stairs to your best friend's basement on a Friday night unless you're drunk. You can't even hang out amongst kids you've known since elementary school without drugs, dude. You tell me what's up. If I was honest, I would have looked him in the eye and just simply said, real talk, my parents' marriage is falling apart. I'm a little stressed out over that. See, I drink alcohol and I smoke pot because it helps me forget. I don't know how many of you in here have a mom or dad that you wish would stop. I don't know how many of you in here have been affected by alcohol or drugs. But my family has. So at the end of the night, as I'm covering up my mistakes, I would always look across the room and see my friends in high school that never drank and that never smoked. Fun of, peer pressured, often not invited, sometimes outcast. But at the end of the night, I would always look across the room and I would see those kids sitting there with their water in their hand. And I would say to myself, we can laugh at them. We can put pressure on them. But real talk, those kids have something special I'm missing, man. You know, I'm 15, 16 years old spending my mother's money on drugs. They don't have to. Every Friday and Saturday night, I'm covering up my mistakes. They don't have a need to. Yet we laugh and make fun of those kids. Maybe the joke's on me. Oh, don't get it twisted. Every time you take one, there's a chance you're not coming back from it. Trust me, I know a bunch of them who never came through. And the saddest thing is that the culture that kids are growing up in today, popping pills, Xannies, and Mollies, it's like a song. It's not a song, man, it's a nightmare. There's a lot of kids in here that have been touched by this. And there's a lot of kids you don't even know how much they've been affected by it. So be careful how you act and how you present around it, because there's kids in here whose heart is broken because of it. And yet there's kids in here that will laugh about pills. There's kids in here right now that take pills. There's kids in here right now that you're friends with that are popping pills and you laugh and joke like it's no big deal. Because if it's no big deal, how about this? If it's no big deal, most of us have grandparents in here who we absolutely adore and respect. Go to their house after school, sit down with your grandmother, let her make you a sandwich, and tell her everything you've been up to. And try to explain to her that it's normal and it's no big deal. Watch your grandmother's heart break right before your eyes. Tell your mom and dad who you really are. And watch how shocked they'll be if it's no big deal. Because if it doesn't matter to you, it matters to somebody who loves you, man. Surround yourself with friends. When they see you slipping, they pick you up and think about your mom and dad. I have so much admiration for the kids who can go to homecoming, prom, and football games and not need to get a buzz on to walk in. That takes courage. That's guts. Being you is enough. And that's an amazing strength to have. I wish I'd passed down to the kids when I was in high school that what was cool was not to pretend to be someone else. Cool is kids who can just step in and handle it, can dance and not need it, go through that roller coaster of high school and survive it. That's cool. Because my question is pretty simple. If you're so happy, if you're so confident, why in the world are you doing drugs? To the kids that don't have to, I applaud you. To the kids that do, I understand you. There's nothing weird about the both of you. Help one another. Look out for each other. I don't care what anybody says. High school's hard, man. High school is not easy. Unfortunately, parents want to tell you that it's the best 4 years of your life. For real? 14 to 18? High school's hard. And there's kids in here that battle with self-esteem. There's kids in here right now that don't feel good enough, pretty enough, or have enough. And you can laugh and play it off like it's not a big deal, but that's hard to live with. I've been sober for almost 9 years. There has not been one day I woke up wanting to smoke a drink, take a pill, or shoot dope, except the days I just don't feel good being me. It's been that from day one. The battle's always been right here. Drugs and alcohol came second. Not being me. It always came first. See, everybody thinks this talk is about drugs and alcohol. It's way bigger than that. This is about struggle. And every kid in here knows a little bit about it. Some more than others. Not everybody has the luxury of walking out of this assembly today and going home, sitting down with a family member and explaining to them what's going on. But every single one of you in this auditorium right now has a teacher, an administrator, or a coach on this property that will do anything to help you if they only got to know you. See, right now, they only know the kid you pretend to be. They don't know the real you yet. See, what they know is the act that you're putting on, not what's inside of you. There's kids in here pretending. I pretended too. See, I walk in here because I wish I walked out of this assembly. I wish I walked out of this assembly. I wish I walked behind that curtain, grabbed a coach, talked to a teacher for a minute, looked them in the eye and said, I don't want to pretend anymore, man. I'm tired of acting like everything's cool when I know it's not. There's kids in here right now who know that feeling. There's kids in this gym right now that are struggling. And I pray that one of you get off the bleachers, one of you get up from your seat, and on your way back to class, one of you say to yourself, without a doubt, I should be better than I am right now, man. I'm not proud of the kid I'm becoming. I'm not comfortable with the mistakes I'm making. That's not who I am. That's not the person I want to be. Anytime a kid opens his mouth to share something, it takes guts. And for as much as I struggled in my life, I truly believe that struggle ended the day I started talking about it. This assembly is not easy, and it shouldn't be. This assembly is about you, not me. Anybody can walk in here and show you a 30-minute movie and tell you their life story. I want you to forget my story and think of yours.